Hi, welcome to video 2. This is going to be there's going to be part 1 and part 2. This is a technique if you've read my testimony or watched my testimony and identify with anything, particularly childhood abuse. I have a technique that I did with a friend. Just a friend. I'm going to keep it confidential and not give information, but a friend in my life. I call it shifting of responsibility or shifting of the weight. And after you do this practice, you should feel the weight of guilt lift off. But please, if you have a hard time with images and flashbacks, and you're not ready to picture yourself or people in your life, please do not do this exercise. There's 26 steps, and it's not going to be a long video, but it's going to be pauses. Okay, so make sure you're in a comfortable place, like a chair. I prefer you not to be laying in bed, but sitting in a chair or a couch like this. Okay. Step 1. Picture 2 people with a gap between 2 people. The victim at point A and the abuser at point B. And make sure this gap is wide. We're going to start with the victim, the person without responsibility. And there's a reason why we're going to start with that. And they're at point A. And they're blind, they can't see the weight. Because there's going to be a weight, which is the feeling of guilt. And the abuser at point B. Make sure this gap is big. So step 1 is picture the 2 people, 2 of you, with a gap in between. Step 2 is we're going to start with a person without responsibility. And you have a blindfold on, or you're blind, you can't see. Step 3, picture a gap. Really focus on that gap between A and B. Step 4. Notice that until the very end, the victim is stationary at point A. They don't move. Step 5. The abuser, the person with responsibility, is carrying a weight. Step 6. The abuser moves from point B, crosses the gap, and steps on to point A. Step 7. Now ask yourself the question, what did the victim do? The answer is nothing. And that's a good thing. Nothing wrong. They did not aggress. They were just standing in their place, minding their business. Step 8. I point out that the victim is motionless. They did not move, they stayed in their place. Step 9. I point out the abuser at point B. When they intrude on point A, they place their weight onto the victim at point A. They have point B with the weight, they cross the gap onto point A and put the weight on the victim. Step 10. I ask, who did the harm? Who was the aggressor? The answer is the abuser at point B did the harm. Put the weight on the victim at point A. Step 11. Notice you feel the weight because the abuser put the weight of guilt on your shoulders. The weight belongs to the abuser. Step 12. Notice who is the aggressor. Person at point B. Originally at point B. Step 13. Notice who was the victim. The person at point A. Notice who the weight belongs to. That's the abuser. Aggressor at point B. Like at point B. That weight belongs to the person at point B. Step 15. Picture the victim growing into adult and getting stronger. Step 16. Ask yourself what you can do with that weight now that you're stronger and you're an adult and you're taller. The answer is you can put the weight back in the appropriate place, which is back on the adult's shoulders. Because as a kid, you can't reach up and put it back on the shoulders. Step 17. Place the weight back where it belongs. Remember we said it belongs to the person at point B? Step 18. Notice the weight was a weight and not a yoke. Step 19. Think of a misplaced weight versus a yoke. A yoke is shared, like a shared responsibility. But you are carrying a weight that belongs to someone else. So the guilt belongs to the abuser. And that weight that does not belong to you. Step 20. Recreate the gap that stands for your safety. Step 21. Re-own the gap and your point at point A. Sorry, I'm throwing myself now. I was making dinner. Step 22. Notice who broke the safety barrier, which is the abuser that was originally at point B. Step 23. Picture the abuser back at point B with the weight on their shoulders. You're shifting. You felt responsible, but you're shifting that weight back to them. Step 24. Notice that the weight is not on you anymore. As in the beginning, it originally was not on you. Step 25. Picture the gap again. Step 26. Meditate on your freedom at point A and the gap with the weight in the appropriate place at point B on the abuser again. So this was part 1 of shifting the responsibility. Part 2 is forgiveness. So it's going to be the end of this video. It's a short video, but there you go.